debate live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Neil, Adam, One Deck, Chocolate Saying, and a whole bunch of people in the Politics Flat Earth 24/7 Discord server, so welcome one and all.
Let's get it on!
Hello.
Cocksucker.
Yeah, continuing the theme, as was the case last time we were in politics last week, don't use our stuff. If you're a globe believer, I'm not going to tolerate you using flat Earth measurements for anything from this point forth. You're just going to get yelled at. Now, you can tell me I'm having a tantrum, it's just not going to fly. Yeah? That's your use of flat Earth measurements, if you believe you are on a globe, will not fly from this point forth.
It's tough having a legitimate conversation with people in here when Nathan Oakley's here as well. I'll be honest.
Come again, one more time.
You're out of pocket, kangaroo. You don't understand what's going on.
I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck you all, mate. If you're going to put up with this guy being a fucking cocksucker...
Why am I getting sworn at? I've got to close my line. I'm just doing a live show and I've told you not to swear. Within 35 seconds of me telling you not to swear, you're going to swear straight to my live audience.
Dickhead.
Why is this guy swearing his head off?
You just don't understand what's happening.
I don't care, man. Fuck you as well.
Okay.
Okay, kangaroo guy, thank you very much. Literally at my request not to swear to my live audience. Thank you so much.
They think because you swore on the pre-show it's okay. It's not okay.
Yo, did you just mute Nathan Oakley? What the heck?
He did. Can someone, other mod, unmute him?
What's happening?
I think they get frustrated. I think they get frustrated when they realise when they're explaining curvature measurements, what they think are curvature measurements, and they're actually explaining how the Earth's measured flat and horizontal from sea level. They get a little bit angry when the penny drops, I think.
Yeah, I'm still going to tell people, don't use our stuff. You can believe you're on a globe, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their belief. I draw the line at using our flat Earth measurements to assert you're on a globe. Things like elevation angles, sea level measurements, surface level measurements, planes of reference, Cartesian systems, maps. All of these things are flat. You don't get to use them if you want to believe you're on a globe. It's just that simple. You're going to get yelled at.
Well, why are they using them if they're on a globe? Why don't they use their globe stuff?
Because the globe was made with the Earth measurements that are flat. They just don't know it. So in their ignorance, believing the reification of a globe that's made with flat Earth measurements, they think they've got the right to tell us, flatties, how stupid we are, when we've looked into the origins of their globe Earth belief. Yeah. And it's flat Earth measurements.
So the globe is definitely flat and it was definitely measured like that, and the Greeks definitely all knew that.
Yeah, if we want to describe Earth as being a flat plane within a circle that's moving around the sun in an orbital motion, yeah, you're measuring angles to stars off an equatorial plane and describing that measurement as moving around the sun in a mathematical description of a world that better explains how the lights in the sky move with the angles you measured off a flat Earth. Well, understanding that means you can't really reify those measurements into the globe that's described with those movements in orbital motion, because you know that the movements come from flat Earth angle measurements of the stars. So you've got to have a flat Earth to measure the angles for the stars to make that system like Kepler did. So it seems absurd that Kepler would not appreciate that the angle measurements he's using in his system that he creates this heliocentric version of the world that has been reified into a world that people think they can actually stand on. It's like, for a start, no, you can't stand on a globe. You can only be in a globe measuring angles from an equatorial plane through a globe that you're not standing on, if you want to believe you're in an orbit around the sun. Now, if you don't know that, that's fine. We'll tell you. But don't have the gall to tell me you're on a ball because I'm a flat earther and somehow that means you can laugh at me and call me stupid when I understand the origins of your religion and being on a ball. Well, no, that's a flat earth measurement that you need for your religion of being on a ball. Don't tell me you measure earth flat to then go on to tell me how ball-shaped it is.
The entire ancient Greek argument is spheres are a perfect shape, therefore the earth is a sphere. It's retarded.
Retarded if we're measuring earth flat, which we are. It's fine if we're measuring earth spherical, then you can assert that it's a sphere, but we don't measure earth spherical, we measure it flat.
Yeah, as did Eratosthenes,
Aye.
as did Al-Biruni.
Their arguments aren't derived from measurements, it's from philosophy.
No, I don't have an argument. I've got an earth measurement. That's not an argument. I don't need to argue with you about
Indeed.
it. You can argue with yourself about how your measurement of your flat earth that you'll need if you want to believe you're on a ball. That could be an argument you could make. I don't have an argument. I've got an earth measurement. It's flat.
Yeah, they have a claim. They have a philosophical claim.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, Yuka.
Oh, I was watching the YouTube, right? And I saw these two guys talking. And one was a doctor, Dr. Shiba, his name was.
Okay.
He was talking to another guy, and he said, we could come up with a test just to check, something that people would agree on. He said, I get 10 MIT physicists, and I get 10 globe people and 10 flat earth people together, and we could, bang our heads together and come up with something. And he asked the other guy, you bring 10 guys, you bring your 10 best guys. And I was wondering, if you were one of the 10 guys, or who would be the 10 guys you would choose?
Oh, I wouldn't need 10. I'd do it on my own. I wouldn't need 10. I could do it just single-handedly. I could do it with both hands tied behind my back. No problem. I don't need 10 of the guys, 9 of the guys next to me. No worries. I can do it on my own. You want to line up 100 globe believers against me? Not a problem. I can answer, hopefully, Hayuka, without you interrupting. I did listen to your question. Thank you for flapping your gums straight through the top of my answer. It's the second time of me pointing out subtly that you're talking through me. Thank you. It would be nice if you went on mute, or we could continue pointing out that you're flapping your gums through the top of my answer. I don't need to stand side by side with 9 other men to get the agreement of the ballers in terms of a measurement that we could all do and all agree on. I'd just say, hey, guys, you know that line around your globe that you believe in called latitude? You all accept that that's wrapped around your globe you believe in? Are they going to say no? Of course not. It's part of their globe. Then I say, do you know how that's measured? And they look around and go, like the lady earlier, I don't really know. I mean, the lady professed to be educated in geography, but she didn't know how we measure Polaris with an angle off a flat plane for latitude. Now, given that that is how we have measured latitude and developed the systems that created the globe from that measurement, I'm pretty sure that everyone can but only agree that that's how it's measured, off a flat Earth. So, without need of assistance, I can get everybody in the room, even if it's a 20,000 strong room of globers, to agree our latitude's measured. Okay. I call it the rock and the hard place argument, because you, if you're a globe believer, Huyuka, on a rock, a ball-shaped rock that's got lines around it measured off a flat plane. Now, you can deny those lines or witter through me making the summary conclusion. You could witter through it straight through the top of it. You could witter straight through the top of my conclusion in victory, because obviously you wittering through the top of me summarising this point that I've just won with, which is that if I was shoulder to shoulder with 10 men like I listened to you, yeah, I didn't yatter through your shite question. But it seems that you feel the need to still chanting through the top of me. I haven't finished. I'm being interrupted by the wanker who asked the question, of course. Wanker. Shut up! Don't need 10 men, I need latitude. Because you need latitude on a ball, it's wrapped around it. And how's it measured? Off a flat Earth. So you can either deny latitude measurements, in which case you deny the stuff wrapped around your ball, Or you can accept a flat Earth measurement of latitude, in which case Earth's measured flat. So that's what I'd do, because you'd be buggered regardless of which side of this stupid argument you think we're having you sit on. Because there isn't an argument, Earth's measured flat. For everyone. Latitude, for example. You can deny that it's measured flat for latitude, but that means, like I've tried 4 times and he's chanted through every single conclusion, you could deny latitude, but that means you deny
the question. I'm pretty impressed.
You could shut up while I made my conclusion once, then, if you're impressed. Shut your chops.
The thing was,
Shut your chops.
Hang on, just a moment.
I'm finished. I'm being told how freaking impressed you are through the top of it before it's concluded. Shit for brains, idiot. I'm not impressed with you. I'm deeply irritated. You're a prick. Yo, prick. Latitude. Do I need 10 men? Prick. You seem to have gone stony silent. Do you understand latitude?
No, I don't. I don't know when to speak. That's the trouble.
Now, Dumbo. Latitude, Dumbo. Respond, okay. Dumbo.
Well, as I understand it, they got to come up with a test. I wondered, what test would you have?
No test needed, Dumbo. Measurement of Earth flat with latitude. No test needed. Are you dumb?
That's what they were asking, that's all.
I'm asking you, Dumbo. Do you understand what latitude... The third time he's yattering through me asking him. I'm going to ask unimpeded. No, of course not. Do you understand what latitude is and how it's measured? And how it's wrapped around a ball?
I was just asking what test you...
I don't care what you're asking. It's the 5th time. Were you dropped on your freaking head? Does it need 8 attempts for me to ask you if you understand what latitude is and how it's measured?
Well, I didn't say anything about latitude.
Is it the 7th time? I'm not asking you what you asked. You asked about what I would need shoulder to shoulder with 10 of the flat earthers against 10 of the globe heads, based on what Dr. Shiva said. I listened to you. That's because I didn't witter through the top of you. Now I'm answering you in latitude and asking you to acknowledge that which I would put while you witter through me, what I would need single-handedly to turn everybody in the room into a flat Earth understander based on a measurement called latitude. Okay. Now, of course he's wittering through me. Of course. And now some arseholes making raspberry sounds through the top of me. This is what you arseholes have got. I'm not getting acknowledged. I'm still getting witted through by the same asshole who asked the question. I've summarised his stupid shithead question. He's still talking through the top of me, of course. Arsehole, shut up. Shut up. I'll tell you when you can talk. That's to say, I will say explicit. Shut him up, moderators. He's a prick. Moderators, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Get more and more irate as he just witters through me non-stop. Wankers, all of you globe-believing dickheads. Immediately he's doing it again. Immediately.
But I don't know.
Moderators, I'm trying to get to the end of this frigging point 7 times. And all that's happening is every time I try and summarise it, he's doing it right now. He's just yammering through me. What the hell?
When you're done, and I speak.
I'm not done. That's the point, you stupid bastard. Yeah, I'm not fucking done. I'll be done when I'm telling you I'm done. That's to say you'll hear me end, you stupid idiot. Yeah, but that's your purpose in being here to piss Nathan off. That's your only MO. Shut up! Dickhead, other dickhead.
You shut the fuck up.
Yeah, now I'm getting told by this dickhead.
All right? You said don't swear. So you shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the F up.
You shut the fuck up, dumb cunt.
Dickhead.
Why? What is this hypocrite doing swearing at me, telling me not to swear?
Okay, hold on. Let's try the diffuse.
You're saying don't swear, and then you swear, you fucking moron.
Are you a moderator here, dude? Because I appealed to you if you're a moderator about 6 times.
Fuck you.
Now you're talking through me. I take it you are going to yammer through me.
Go fuck yourself, dickhead.
He's in pain.
Yeah, are you in pain? What's going on? I appealed to the moderation team 7 times. Because I've asked him to respond to my answer to his question. He asked me what I'd need to do if stood shoulder to shoulder with 9 men, other men. Now I'm getting talked through by someone else. I'm appealing to the moderation team for this not to happen. It's now the 9th attempt. It's still happening. Well, am I going to get told I shouldn't be swearing in frustration in a second? It's the 9th attempt to get to the end of this. Every time I do, the guy who asked me the question yammered through me, and I appealed to the moderation team. And then in frustration, I swear, who can blame me? Yeah, he's asked me what I'd do, like Dr. Shiva suggested. And I've said I'd address latitude, because it's a flat Earth measurement. What say you? He then tells me 7 times what he's saying. Not acknowledging that I've absolutely converted 200 men in the room, by analogy, based on his question, to a flat Earth based on a measurement of latitude that the globe would require, and if you deny it, you haven't got a latitude measurement around your globe anymore. Now, I've put that to him, finally got to the end of it. I don't need to swear if I'm allowed to actually say my point. Finally got to answer him. Will he respond back to me? Of course not. Because he's obfuscated it 7 or 8 times to the point where he's had to be put on server mute, so the discourse ceases. No response will come to me making that point now, will it? Wankers.
Okay, so overall, like, try to defuse the situation. It got a little tense there. What I'm thinking is, if you appeal to the moderator, let the moderator jump in to try to clear the airwaves. So, like, because we're really familiar with some of these people. Like, Heyoka has been, a member of this channel, a lot. So we kind of know how to address him in a way where he'll get it, where he'll understand. It might be new to him, so, like, I'm not really sure what the solution is, other than, once there's a call for moderation, let the moderator do something or say something. And then it can, because if you guys both talk over each other, it just creates this really audio chaos where no one really knows what's happening anymore.
Okay.
It just seems like you are just going back and forth with somebody, and it's not really a point of moderation.
Yeah, that's the intention. That's his intention. So rather than addressing what I've put to him, which is latitude, it's very simple. Yeah, latitude. I've asked him to acknowledge it. He's not, but audio chaos is preferable to acknowledgement, isn't it? So me, I'm going to get shouted down to because I'm also trying to get him to acknowledge it 8 times in a row, but there's audio chaos, so that's equally my fault. No, it's being caused by a wanker who knows that audio chaos is preferable to answering and acknowledging the question he's put out there that has an answer. A good answer. Earth's measured flat with latitude. Now, if you attempted to take him off mute, I am in no doubt that it will never get acknowledged, ever.
Yeah, okay, so Heyoka, but he's kind of an interesting guy. Okay, so he was, a few days ago, he was really stuck on the final experiment being a final experiment. But after talking to him and answering his questions, he was able to figure out that it had nothing to do with flat Earth at all. It was a social experiment. So he's able to kind of get someplace if he's kind of leading the dance, if he's asking the questions and then you answer.
Nah, he won't be leading no dance here.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm leading this dance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling him.
That's what I'm saying. It might not be a good fit for this conversation.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
Hour.
Yeah. Some people don't want to be told. I don't care. I'll tell them anyway. And the opportunity to cause audio chaos rather than being told that Earth's measured flat with latitude and you'll damn well need it to be on your globe. Yeah, and some people don't take well to that. I don't care. And then when they try and cause audio chaos and just obfuscate an acknowledgement of that, which I'm telling them in no uncertain terms, eventually we'll get to the bottom of it with the moderation team. Obviously, we'll get there in the end where everybody in my audience understands in no uncertain terms that this man just doesn't want to acknowledge the very good answer he got to his question. He's a coward. He asked a question, he got a good answer to it, but he had to obfuscate that very good answer about 6 or 7 times. Now we're talking about the moderation. That's a good outcome for him, other than me reiterating that Earth's measured flat with latitude again and again in between us discussing moderation, which is what he wanted.
Well, if he would have just listened to what you were saying, he wouldn't even be bringing up this Dr. Shiva. He would comprehend it, and he would realize that Dr. Shiva has no idea what he's talking about, and we don't need 20 men. We don't need 10 each. We don't have to debate, because there is no debate. It's just measured flat, and it's over.
That's pretty much exactly what I said. It just didn't get acknowledged. It descended into audio chaos, preferable to a globe believer acknowledging that Earth's measured flat, unbeknownst to Dr. Shiva and his stupid example that was dealt with by me saying I don't need 10 men next to me. Or 9.
Yeah. And a measurement is...
I only asked you what 10 men you were choosing. You went off on some crazy thing.
Heyoka, what's the answer?
When you shout, your microphone gets very noisy.
Okay, Heyoka, you're not paying attention. How many? You should know the answer to your question. How many men does Nathan Oakley need standing next to him to debate this topic or discuss it? The answer is 0. Okay, do you know how many that is? Do you know what number 0 is?
Well, I was impressed. He said he could do it on his own. Now,
Okay, there we
I
go.
did
So
do
you
it.
got your answer. Why
Latitude.
I did do it. I did do it on my own. I did it with you, Hijacking.
he brought
Now you're talking straight through me.
No,
Let's try again. Second attempt. Second
Dr.
attempt.
Shiva.
Now he's talking straight through me. I'll
No,
try
I'm
again.
not.
No, I'm going
No,
to start again. Third attempt. Now he's talking straight through me again. I'll leave a short pause. Hopefully he won't
How are
start
you
talking
going to
immediately.
prove latitude? What test will you come up with to prove latitude?
Latitude's not a test. It's just a measurement of the star called Polaris in the north
That's
centric
what he
system.
wants.
And he's
He
talking
wants
straight
a
through me.
test.
He's an asshole.
He
What's the
wants a
point doing this?
test.
What's the point? Wanker. Am I going to get told off for swearing? He's just been a wanker. Talk straight through
said
me.
you could do
What
it
a
on
wank.
your
Still
own
doing it.
with a
Haven't paused for
test.
breath. Still doing it. What a wanker. I'm appealing to the moderation
How
team.
would you
He's still
test
doing it,
to
even
show
though I'm
what
appealing
test
to the
to
mod
show
team.
latitude?
Still appealing. It's just audio chaos. Because it's preferable, like I just pointed out. That's what I did last time. Appealed to you, the moderation team, to shut him up. Because he's asking me what test he can do for the measurement of latitude. That's a non sequitur, idiotic response that required audio chaos. He knew it was a stupid, shitty response. It's not a test, it's a measurement of a star. Latitude's an angle to Polaris in the North Pole centric system. That's what it is. It's not a test, it's a measurement. Now I'm being rumpus by someone else in this second attempt. The person who asked the question did it, now somebody else, White Knight's doing it. Second attempt. No, it's not a test, it's a measurement of a flat Earth. A baseline and then line up to the Polaris star that we use for latitude. That's the measurement of it. It's not a test. That was his response. It was non sequitur. It was idiotic. I'm not going to get a point across. He's just going to yammer straight through it until he gets shut up. Because again, it's preferable that his stupid shithead response that's frustrating because it's non sequitur. It's better that he yammers indefinitely through the top of me pointing out how non sequitur and idiotic it is to suggest I do a test when measuring an angle to Polaris. It's just a measurement of a flat Earth with Polaris. That's all it is, not a test.
Anyone would think he was trying to ruin the show.
Yeah, anyone would think he's trying to ruin the show. Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Latitude is 1 minute of one arc. It is.
Brenda's accused me of child abuse. I don't want to talk to this person, this scumbag monster who accuses me of child abuse. I'd rather not talk to this person ever. No, this person has suggested I have my family taken away from me. I just don't want that person to be in my company, if that's okay. Go and deal with your issues somewhere else. Okay? Your issues are your own. Don't project your problems and your issues onto me. Okay?
Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat.
Yeah, meanwhile, Earth's measured flat with latitude as one example. I mean, I could be asked how I'm going to test that. Or test? Do you think that a sextant's a piece of scientific apparatus? No, it just measured angles. It's a measurement.
Hello.
Notice the stony silence. He's put an end to the discussion. He's had to be shut up. It's either audio chaos or total silence. There's no back and forth here. It's not a reasonable discussion where he says, I don't know how to do a test of a measurement of Polaris. Idiotic non sequitur. And then I say, no, that's a stupid thing to point out because it's a measurement. Sorry, Koa Kun, go ahead. Was it only through the top of me?
Spastic, dude. You're legitimately just being a spastic right now.
One more time.
This is Brenda with another profile.
Okay.
Great globe proof.
Yeah, great globe proof. It's just a
So
shame.
I think it's possible to get your latitude on a globe.
Ah. How?
Yeah, I don't understand how can you not measure latitude on a globe?
Yeah, how do you do that?
You just determine your latitude in the northern hemisphere anyway by measuring the zenith distance and subtract that from 90 to get your latitude.
Yeah. Subtract it from 90, but that leaves
90.
you with
How you gonna have 90 on a sphere?
It's just a number. I'm saying you measure the zenith distance to Polaris, and then what if it's 30, for example, you do 90 minus 30 and your latitude is 60. And you can do that without any reference to the ground or the horizon.
Well, what would be the point of that? So are you telling me you're doing it, but you're not referencing the ground? What would be the point of doing it then?
So just to get your latitude.
That's on the ground. You double-speaking clown.
I'm saying to determine your latitude, you don't need
on the ground, right? You've just said, stop. You just said not on the ground. Latitude's on the ground, right? That would be on the ground.
Right.
Well, why do you
So shut everyone else, shut up. Shut up, everyone else, shut up.
Listen to me.
Shut up. Everyone else, shut up. Everyone else, shut up. Oh, white night time. Yeah, Matthew learns. Matthew, we heard you yep. Oh, we're going to get audio chaos. I heard you say yep. Sorry, can you just say, my name's Matthew Learns, I'm a double-speaking clown, and when I suggest it's not for the ground, it is actually for the ground, correct? I heard you say yep.
My name is Matthew Learns, and I'm not a double-speaking clown. I'm talking about the latitude on the ground with reference
So when you said it wasn't the ground, it's not for the ground, nothing to do with the ground, you were wrong then, correct?
You
stuttery twat! You stuttery twat! Why are you in charge of teaching children?
Because I'm smart.
You're not smart, you're a double-speaking clown. You just made it explicitly clear it was nothing to do with the ground. It is. You're an idiot. Is that clear?
Your latitude is a location on the ground. Yes.
So why did you tell us it had nothing to do with the ground, you stupid man?
I was saying you didn't
stuttery.
Reference
yes, stuttery.
Horizon.
Yes, stuttery. You told us it had nothing to do with the ground. You're an idiot, aren't you?
I didn't say that.
So when I recorded and broadcast to 100 live stream participants, you saying it had nothing to do with the ground, it's just 8 minus from 90 times by 60 calculation that's got nothing to do with the ground, end quote, you. That's not you being a double-speaking clown. You're now going to lie about what you've actually said here, are you?
No, I wrote it down. I said you can do all of that with no reference to the ground or the horizon, so you can calculate.
So it's not
looking at the ground.
So it's not with reference to the ground, then, you double-speaking clown. Yo, are you deaf? So it's not the ground, then.
Latitude.
So it's not the ground, then. So we're all clear, as he's just literally 30 seconds ago made it explicitly clear, it was the ground. Now we're definitely clear that you're not a double speaker, but it's definitely not in any way referencing the ground. You're not a double speaker, correct? We're not referencing the ground with this, right? Matthew Learns, correct? Double speaking clown, dickhead, wanker. Should be fired.
Your latitude is a location on the ground, but you can...
You just told us 25 seconds ago it had nothing to do with the ground, though, didn't you, Matthew?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You told me you wrote it down.
I said no reference to the ground to determine...
So we are referencing the ground, though. So it's got no reference to the ground, but it's simultaneously to do with the ground. Okay, so, Matthew, you're a double-speaking clown. I expect you to resign. You shouldn't be educating anybody. You're a double-speaking, lying shit-for-brains clown who's talking through me as I tell you off. No, mate. Telling me you wrote down how it had absolutely no reference to the ground when it's absolutely in reference to the ground will require some arsehole to talk through me telling you off. You should resign. You shouldn't be educating anybody. You're a double... Why am I getting yammered through? I'm telling him off for being a clearly demonstrable double-speaker. Clear and obvious to anybody listening that this man who educates people is a double-speaker. That's obvious. I wrote it down too, not in reference to the ground and the ground. Yet those two things are in total contradiction with one another. You are a double-speaking clown, Matthew Learns. You should resign. You shouldn't be educating anybody. You're a contradicting, double-speaking clown, Matthew. Meanwhile, latitude is measured with respect to the ground. It's a ground-based system that is describing for navigation with respect to the ground. That if you're a globe believer and you want to just take a calculation out your ass and tie it to the zenith, then it's got nothing to do with the ground, end quote, Matthew learns. Until you realise that you're doing navigation with it and it's on the ground, then you'll need a flat baseline that's Earth being flat, measured as such, with latitude lines. That's a flat Earth measurement that'll get chanted through. That's definitely not going to get concluded without impedance. I'm definitely going to be impeded while making that conclusion. Somebody's definitely going to chant through the top of that, because it's a fair and neutral platform where me winning against a university-grade educator telling him to resign based on the fact he just double-spooked through his ass, which is exactly what he just did, and denied it and lied about it, and claimed that he wasn't a double speaker after saying that he could acquire this without any reference to the ground, even though it's most explicitly to do with the ground. He admitted both of his contradictory double-speak positions, but me concluding that needs some arsehole to yammer through me, doesn't it, until I start swearing. Then I can get told off for swearing in frustration. No, this man educates at a university level. I'm telling him, based on his performance here and his double-speak contradiction, that's glaring. I wrote it down, did you? How little it had to do with the ground? You wrote that down, did you? Resign immediately. Hand in your notice to the university you represent. Or is it some Californian shitty university?
So
resign.
I see what you're saying. I may be able to.
So resign.
I'm going to try and articulate it more.
So resign. It's a double-speak contradiction. You're saying you acquire this measurement and it's got no reference to the ground. It's a ground reference, though, isn't it? So you're a double speaker, educating people in a university, and I expect you to resign. You're saying you can resolve this issue.
I could try to re-say it, no?
I don't need you to re-say it. I wrote it down, Matthew. Yeah, I wrote down what you said in contradiction. Now I'm telling you to resign. You shouldn't be educating anybody.
I'm saying I'm going to rephrase it to make more sense.
You already said it.
Okay, here's my rephrase.
No take-backs. Sorry, I don't care what you feel you can paraphrase your own stupid contradictory words to be. I'm telling you based on... Shut up.
Fix it.
Shut up. I'm telling you, not asking you to shut up.
This sounds just like what Dr. Shiva was asking for.
Shut up.
Dr. Shiva was asking for something just like this.
Well, I'm telling him and you to shut up. I'm the one in charge telling you to shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
If they came up with
You didn't win this victory. Why is he taking my victory away? Shut him up. Matthew, I don't need you to paraphrase what you double-speaking, contradictory assholes say. I know what you said. It was recorded and broadcast live. Apparently you wrote down your own contradiction as you told me how little to the ground it had reference to. Yet we know you contradicted yourself based on what you've said to date. You don't need to have some take-backs where you rewrite history. I understood the contradiction and pointed out to you your contradictory doublespeak. You denied it. Based on that denial, your lie... Yeah, your denial, your lack of humility, and now your need to change history, I demand your resignation. You should not be educating anybody.
Oh, I refuse to resign. I reject your demand.
What's the address of your university? I will personally write to them and I will send them a copy of this excerpt.
13800 Biola Avenue, La Mirada, California, 90638. And that's in the USA.
And who's your superior? I want to know who your superior is to write to them. Who is in your charge? Who is in charge of you?
Sure. The provost is Matthew Hall.
Matthew Hall? What's his title?
Matthew.hall@biola.edu if you want to email him.
Yeah.
Nathan, you just got railed, man.
Shouldn't be educating people. You're a contradictory, double-speaking clown. Why are you educating anybody? Based on the contradictions you've said here today, why are you educating anybody about anything? Why am I getting rumpused?
Nathan, this is good.
This is outrageous. This is somebody who gets paid by the state to educate our kids. And I'm asking him why the hell he's doing so. Why is he saying, I'm not going to resign?
I do not get paid by the state. I get paid by a private university.
Yeah,
you're still educating people, regardless of where the money comes from, right? You are in contradiction.
To what Nathan's saying.
You're in contradiction.
Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got let's drop the issue. Okay. Matthew gave you all the information you wanted. It's a private university. You know that. What's going to happen is if you do send the letter, they're going to put it up in the break room and have a laugh at it.
That's probably true. Yeah. No, you're probably right about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be this amazing trophy of how effective Matthew is as an educator. Like, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Like that meme from Captain America. So the comment section isn't going like you thought it would go. I don't know why you think
you're under the misapprehension. Sorry, you're under the misapprehension. I'm actually going to write a letter.
You're not him.
Sorry, no. Don't misconstrue what's happening here. I'm getting an acknowledgement from Matthew. No, he's not going to get to justify some letter I actually write. Far from it. No, Matthew, once the show's over, I don't really care about you that much. I'll be honest. Meanwhile, you are still in contradiction, aren't you?
Okay, so I will admit that the way I said it before may have been contradictory, and so I'd like the chance to rephrase it.
No.
It's not contradictory.
Why? You said it wasn't. You denied it and said it wasn't.
That's how education works.
So you already denied it.
Something...
Sorry, I'm not going to respond. He's just talking through me. No, you already denied it when I pointed out the contradiction. So based on your, lack of understanding of your own contradiction, having had it pointed out by me, you denied that you were in contradiction. Now you acknowledge that you're in contradiction and want to change history. That's annoying.
No, I want to clarify.
What, because you're in contradiction, you'd need to clarify the contradiction that you made that I pointed out and you denied?
To better explain what I think I meant.
You mean to correct your contradiction that I pointed out and you denied?
To explain why I don't think it's a contradiction.
You don't think that saying that something has nothing to do with the ground when it's a ground reference isn't a contradiction? You think you can explain how you suggesting that you'd written it down when you said it had no reference to the ground, when you minus from 90 and times by 60, when taking a zenith angle measurement, which is specifically in reference to a ground-based system, you don't understand how that's a blatant, obvious contradiction. Okay, on you go.
No, it is a contradiction the way you put it.
Yeah, I know it is. Yes, I'm well aware, Matthew. Based on that contradiction, I demanded your resignation. Now you want to change history, though, and clarify. I understand that you need to witter through me now that we've got the acknowledgement that I was absolutely correct the whole time. Yeah, I know I'm right. That's why my disdain is justified. That's why I find myself feeling disgust towards you as an educator, and I just want that to be made clear to my audience. The disgust I feel towards this educator to the level where I demand him resign, with him talking through me after I'm absolutely, by his own admission, in the right here. He's absolutely in a contradiction. He still feels he can witter through me. Like him needing to correct that contradiction he's made is justification for talking through me. Now that just makes him a wanker. Yeah, he denied that contradiction initially, didn't he? As I fought to make him understand his own dumbass contradiction that he now acknowledges. Yeah, you're a dumbass. That's why I told you to resign, dumbass. You didn't understand the contradiction at first, did you, dumbass? You denied it. Now, after a lot of pain and me having to educate you, yeah? Now you acknowledge it. Yeah, it took a lot of time, didn't it, Matthew? You're slow. Took a while for you to understand the contradiction now, do you? Oh, good. No, you don't get permission to correct the contradiction, dumbass. No, I don't give you permission. You're just in contradiction. I'm glad you can finally acknowledge it, though.
I'm the one talking through you?
No, I'd stopped. Now I'm going to continue by saying you were in contradiction, even at the point that you denied it. Even when there was a lot of audio chaos, I was still right. I got your acknowledgement that you could understand how it could be seen as... Yeah, it's you contradicting yourself about that ground-based measurement that you were describing when you describe latitude and then tell us that it's got nothing to do with the ground. You can do it without reference to the ground. Yet you can see now that would be a glaring contradiction that you denied. Yeah, you did. You denied it because you're stupid, slow, and didn't understand your own contradiction in spite of me pointing it out to you with a lot of white knights chanting through the top of me. Maybe I hadn't finished, Matthew. Yeah, it's like people want to defend your honour. It's like you're wittering through me now while I point out that someone just yattered through the top of me, pointing out your contradiction. I didn't get to the end, obviously. Someone felt the need to talk through it before the conclusion came. Maybe you could bleat about how you're getting interrupted, Matthew.
Get a life, everyone here.
Yeah, so Matthew was in contradiction. I'll just round this out, Matthew, if you don't mind. Yeah, Matthew should resign because he's a dumbass, too slow to understand his own contradiction, in spite of me pointing it out to him.
I was saying you can determine your latitude on the ground by using...
Sorry, no, Matthew, no. It's got nothing to do with the ground, Matthew. No, Matthew, I wrote it down, Matthew, you dumbass. No, Matthew, I wrote it down. Quote, Matthew learns, nothing to do with the ground, no reference to the ground, dumbass. Matthew, you dumbass.
That was the time in the
dumbass. I wrote it down.
Yeah, so...
Yes, so you're in contradiction, dumbass.
Distance, sorry, the zenith distance to Polaris, and let's say it's like...
on the ground. Distance on the ground. Distance on the ground? You seem to have gone very quiet, you contradictory dumbass that I demand resigns.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can stutter though, can't you, Matthew? Yeah, I can make you stutter quite easily, can't I? Yeah, you were in contradiction, you're still in contradiction, and you're talking about distance on the ground. Yeah, in spite of you telling me, because you thought you were smart, I wrote it down without reference to the ground. Resign. You stupid man. You shouldn't be educating anybody. Resign.
The bigger picture, the point.
You should resign.
Determine your latitude.
The bigger picture is you shouldn't be educating anybody, and I've just explained why.
Oh no, I'm a great educator, and people
no, you're not.
Like my.
No, you're not. I had to educate you, and it took a while for you to understand your own contradiction. That's not a great educator. You're being educated by me, a flat earther, about your contradiction you used, Matthew. About it having no reference to the ground. Apparently you wrote it down, you stupid man. Now, it took you a while for you to understand your own contradiction. You denied it because you're stupid. Don't tell me you're a good educator. You didn't understand your own contradiction. It took you long enough to understand it with me explaining it with you. Denying it, you stupid man who absolutely, without question, shouldn't be educating anybody. If you were worthy of educating, you wouldn't be getting corrected by me, a flat earther, and then interrupting me as I chastise you for your stupidity. That would be not the position a good educator would be in, to be chastised by a flat earther and just have the worthy lips to smack his gums over the top of me chastising him. No, mate, that's not a good educator. It took you a long time to understand your own... You're still talking through me, Matthew. Matthew.
Stop yelling, you meth-headed fucking crackhead. Stop fucking spraying.
Yeah, Matthew, that's not a good educator. Your last response to me was that you're a good educator when I demanded your resignation.
Right.
And I said, no, you're not, because it took you a long time to understand the contradiction you made. I had to educate you in that. That isn't somebody who's a good educator. You were getting educated by me.
With respect, I'll take the opinion of people who've actually been in my classes, who love my classes, rather than somebody who's never seen me teach.
I'm teaching you now. You're in a class with me. This is the classroom right now, and you didn't do well.
Matthew, is the converse true? Can you use the surface of a sphere to do this same thing?
The converse of which part? Like, can you explain which?
Well, you're talking
linear
about the
distance.
zenith. You're talking about the sky. Can you use the surface of a sphere to do what you're saying? Because we can use the surface of a horizontal plane to do what we're doing.
Yes, you can use the horizon. It's actually easier to use the horizon. I'm saying you don't have to.
What's the horizon? Define that for us.
You don't have a horizon on a globe, Matthew. You don't have a horizon on a globe, Matthew.
It's where the sky appears to meet the ground.
Do you know what the slope intercept formula is, Matthew?
Yes, y equals mx plus b.
Now define curvature.
I don't know how to define curvature.
Would it not be the rate of
change? Doesn't know how to define
right?
curvature, Mr. Mathematician.
The rate of change from zero.
I don't remember the QE definition from on high.
Right, but you don't have a horizon on a globe.
Well, how does he define curvature then?
Okay, so we can't do this on a globe. You immediately appeal to the horizon, which you don't have on a globe.
I'm sorry. Why would you say you don't have QE's definition? Aren't you a mathematician? Don't you have your own definition of curvature?
Right, but usually
like
in these forums,
definition of curvature.
If you don't parrot QE's definition, exact definition of all these terms, then you get yelled at. And I'm sorry, I forgot his definition of curvature.
By QE's definition, you just mean the curvature definition.
So is there a different definition of curvature?
Usually, he usually has some idiosyncratic version.
Listen, how about you forget QE? How about you forget QE for a second? Yeah.
No, rate of change of slope of non-zero. Is there another way to say it, Matthew?
Yeah, I would say it's basically how much something deviates from a straight line, for example.
Oh, so what's the change? Rate of change of slope of non-zero.
Yeah, now I'm going to run away. Goodbye. I'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely, you will run away.
Yeah, because you don't have a horizon on a globe. you don't have a horizon. So your first appeal is to a horizon you don't have on a globe, and your response when tying down in mathematical terms what that would mean if you had slope or curve, it would violate the definition. So that's it, bye-bye. Okay.
Globe head mathematician just ran away. Okay.
Yeah, to deviate from straight is to this. What you're talking about, the rate of change of slope. It's the same thing, just said a different way. Well, what's his problem with QE's definition? I don't get it.
Leaves him without a horizon.
He's coping.
Cope harder.
Right, now we're all calm again. To the Aussie guy, my apologies for swearing, okay? It's just frustrating when I'm getting yammered through before the end of the conclusion of a point. So, my bad, okay? Didn't mean to bite your head off either.
I don't give a fuck, man. But
trying to make things right,
man?
actually.
You say, what you say is, you go, oh, no swearing, and then you start swearing.
Yeah.
So what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I can't help it sometimes. Through frustration, that's what I was just trying to explain to you. I'm trying to apologise.
I understand that, man. So practice what you preach, mate.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging that. It's hard.
Great, man.
It is really hard. Really, really, really hard.
Yeah, I
Also, I
understand.
would say-
Hey, just want to understand. I understand the passion, man. Like, I understand the passion.
Fair enough.
But, like, don't say something and then not practice it yourself. Like,
Yeah, I get it. It makes me a hypocrite. I understand.
It does, but I like all your stuff, man. But when you do that, it makes you look like a dick.
Yeah, I get it. Thanks. I'm acknowledging it. I'm eating that humble pie right now.
And hey,
I want to add to that if you don't
I'm
mind.
a fan, man. Like, but don't do that shit, man. You know.
I'll try harder.
I want to add to that. So it was immediately more interesting for me when Matthew was allowed to restate his position, which didn't help him. When you didn't let that happen, it was kind of corny. Like, this kind of what I don't like. Like, let him do it again. You made your point. You obviously won. He win again. But it's like, we don't want to hear one man ban thing where nobody can jump in because you're now at the height of your frustration. It's whack for the audience.
Yeah, fair enough.
Put ones in the chat if you agree with me. It was
Everyone
totally
will.
great.
That goes to that question.
Was able to say it second.
No, that goes to that question. You rated me well. Well done. Team effort. Good for you.
Wait, did he just prove that the Earth was round? Let's fucking go, guys.
Please don't swear. Try not to swear.
He proved the Earth was round with a slope intercept of 0. Wow. Did he now?
He was measuring an angle as well.
So to the dude, no. Do the guy that was just saying let's go and swearing, do you know what latitude is?
Do you know what longitude is?
Yes.
I'm alive.
Yes.
Okay, why exactly do we use latitude and longitude to measure the size of the Earth?
Well, how do we measure it first of all? Can you go on mute, whoever's
No.
on?
I'm not asking how. I'm asking. I'll ask you a question if you can answer it. Why do we use latitude and longitude to measure size and whatever length of the Earth? Tell me.
Because it's flat.
That's not an answer.
It is. That was my
That's
answer.
just saying the Earth is flat because of latitude and longitude. That makes no sense.
Okay.
Thank you for proving my point.
Well, if you want to take that as the win, no worries. How do we measure them? Was my question. You didn't want to respond in a question to me. I've answered you. So why latitude and longitude? Well, because Earth's flat. How do we measure them? Or are you just going to run away? Did he run?
Yep.
So what? That was his cope. I win because I got to ask you a question and then run away. Okay.
Wow.
Well, fair enough.
Well, it's easy. All you do is you measure an angle with respect to the plane of reference. to a star called Polaris. You set up your grid system of latitude based on that with respect to a flat plane. And then you just assert you're on a ball because latitude. It's easy.
Wonderful. That was good fun. Why latitude? Why longitude? Because Earth's flat. Next.
They always want to take it to the sky. They want to disregard the surface. Because, sure, if you want, you can do this with the sky. But if you want to do it with a surface, you need a horizontal plane. You absolutely cannot do it with a curved surface.
Well, they do it with the sky anymore. We're taking the sky from them.
Well, they're doing it with the surface.
John, then one deck, then me. John first. John, then one deck, then me. Go ahead, John.
We've taken the sky from them. They need a Cartesian coordinate system to describe the sky with. And that's from a plane of reference. They ain't got that. They can't have it. It's ours.
Yep, don't use that stuff. Go ahead, one deck.
Yeah, they don't always use the sky, and the Greeks didn't use the sky. Al-Biruni didn't use the sky; he used the ground, and Eratosthenes used the ground. He measured it flat
with an angle to the sun.
Which is in the sky.
That's how they curved the ground, right? If you can reference the angle measurements of these lights as they move through an arc with respect to your position, that curved trajectory, which it isn't, it's moving parallel to the plane of the surface that you're measuring it with, but that creation of a curved trajectory through the angles you measure can be turned into the surface curving instead of the measurement of the stars or sun curving through the day. So that's all they've done. They've taken the curve of the lights in the sky with respect to your measurement of them and turned that into the ground. It's quite clever how they did it. Required a flat Earth be measured to do it. But if you're ignorant,
and then are forced to admit that it's not the ground when they're actually talking about the ground.
Yeah, exactly like Matthew Lynch just did. Exactly that.
Yeah, it's not the ground, but it is the ground. But I'm still going to measure an angle, which has got nothing to do with curvature anyway.
You can get the curve from the angle to the light in the sky. That's what the latitude lines are, aren't they? Right? You go backwards from Polaris, it recedes towards the ground, described as an angle. Well, if you imagine you with a protractor over you, there's your curve. The curve of the protractor gets reprojected onto a curved surface. Now, for that to function, you've got to measure the angles from within the globe like it's a giant protractor. And then you project the points up onto the surface of that radius 3959 protractor, like the angles you measured on a flat surface are actually the surface projected up through the projected protractor that you use to measure the stars with. It's like, once you understand how they've created the globe, you can't really reify standing on it because all the measurements come from within it. You're never on it in heliocentric motion. You're always in the ball, not on the ball.
It only exists in the math, guys. You're not standing on a water ball.
Standing in it either. But that's how they've created it. When
Wherever
Matthew
they
Lynch,
are, they're on a horizontal plane.
Yeah, so when Matthew Lynch refers to Polaris and says, well, you don't need the surface. It's like, well, why? Because you can describe the arc of the measurement of the light in the sky as you back away from it. Yeah, you can describe that without referencing the surface. But the system gets turned into the surface. That's the point. Now, I knew where I was taking him and why I would take such a disdained point with him to the point where I'm suggesting I would contact his employer. I did the same trick last time. I didn't contact them last time. I won't be contacting them this time. It's just to make the point. Yeah? That's how they created the ball. They hijacked a curved view of the sky when you measure angles of the sky. Yeah? Now imagine a cloud over your head. Yeah? Let's say it's at a given height and just goes over there. Well, it's still at the same height over there as it is over here, but to your view, it's meeting and greeting the horizon in the distance. Does that mean it met the ground? No. All right, but it's 90 degrees to your position now, right along the ground. No, it's still in the sky, parallel with the ground. But from your point of view, you've got a curve that you can describe with the angles to that cloud as it moved away from you. Yeah, that's a curve that you've created from a parallel plane and sky. That's how they created the curved Earth. They took a perspective view and turned it into an orthographic angle-based view of the sky that's parallel with the ground. That's it. You can project a curved Earth at radius 3959, which is the Polaris minimum elevation angle, otherwise known as the equator. That's how you get your ball minimum. That's it. Then Bob's your uncle. You've got a curved surface. If you want to see it done in the most simplistic terms, go and watch Refracted Curvature's video on converting his kitchen into a globe.
Yeah, it blows my mind how they hijack the prospectus of the celestial dome heavens to then bring down the perspective of a curved dome down to a flat Earth, then to create a globe model that doesn't account for perspective and replaces perspective with curvature when perspective was used in the first instance to create the non-perspective Earth curve model.
Yeah, they hijacked it, and then had the nerve to tell us it doesn't exist, right? That's something only happens in art class. And then fast forward years later, now they're trying to smuggle it back into the globe math while still telling us that it's not perspective. Like, they're crazy.
Yeah,
nobody ever said the Earth was curved.
Yeah, they'll take it to the point where they'll deny anything to do with the surface. Like, so what, you want me to accept that you're doing these measurements of the stars in the sky without reference to the surface, if I'd have acknowledged what Matthew Learns was postulating? Okay, let's go along with it then. Okay, so we're not talking about the surface. No, I'm measuring it without any reference to the surface. Okay, why? So I can call the surface curved. That's what he's doing.
Well, you can't. You need the Cartesian plane for the measurements. That's the conceptual unit you'll use of degrees is dependent upon a Cartesian plane. At 360, you're not getting away from it, even if you just want to focus on the stars and the one degree differential between two stars. You still need that Cartesian plane for the angles that you're going to be asserting. So you're not really getting away from it.
Yeah, he just knows the maths. When he said minus from 90, Neil immediately piped up, why are you minusing from... He didn't say that. He said, where are you getting 90 from? But why are you minusing from 90 would have been the appropriate question, Neil.
He said 90s. That's just a number. That's a pretty significant number.
It's just some number we use when navigating the surface. But this has got nothing to do with the surface. We wouldn't be doing this for the purpose of navigating the surface. And that's not a contradiction. You know what I mean? It's like, why would we be doing this exactly? Shit. This is navigation, isn't it? I've just said it's got nothing to do with the surface. No reference to the surface. I wrote it down. Bollocks. I'm not resigning.
He never learns, does he?
Matthew Learns never learns, no.
Well, his middle name is Doesn't. If you're...
That would make no sense, because it would be terrible grammar. Matthew Doesn't Learns. That's just poor English right there.
Hey man,
It's been the same thing with him each time for years at this point. He just tries to take it to the zenith. It's just lame. It's like it's a disregard from... If he's going to claim that he understands math, it's him disregarding his understanding of geometry.
What's zenith, though?
90 degrees to
What is the zenith?
Perpendicular to the plane.
It's perpendicular.
That's right. Yeah, let him go to zenith and then take it away from him.
But to keep on doing it,
I forgot
over and over again for years. It's like, what is wrong with this man?
Cognitive dissonance. Powerful, very powerful. People bandy those
Why
words
would you
around
keep
like.
coming back here? Why would you return to this place to poke at the hole in your mouth? Like why are you tonguing the absence with your tongue. Like, it's just, I don't understand that aspect of the psychology of these people.
What a fantastic analogy. He's like the ulcer on the top of your mouth that you would have healed if you could just stop licking it. With that ulcer, you can't stop licking it.
Well,
Go on, John.
He's looking for pain relief. He's looking for pain relief. If he can get one person in an argument where he can claim victory, that helps that ulcer for that moment in time. It makes him.
Why would you look for it here?
Because logically, you start at the source of the pain, don't you? If you've got a splinter in your finger, you don't go and get a foot massage.
Maybe the acupuncturists are onto something.
My sister had acupuncture, right? She told me that when she had it, she said it was absolutely blissful. It was fantastic. And then suddenly there was several members of staff all very panicked as they yanked a load of needles out of her. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Jesus.
She said it felt like it was just the most euphoric feeling she'd ever had. But then they stopped, right? And apparently there's certain people who react in a way that if they allow it to continue, you can go into some form of shock or something. I can't remember. It was a long time ago that she explained. But like, no. You can't have this. But she was like, more. This is wonderful. And it reminded me, actually, Neil was saying it the other day when he was like, sometimes when people overdose on heroin, they get bought out by whatever the drug is, Narquip or something like that. And when they do, they get all angry because their fantastic high's been taken away from them. That was a bit like what my sister was describing with acupuncture. She was saying it just felt so euphoric. But then they're like, get him out, get him out, get him out, get him out.
That's worrying in some way.
Well, I never knew that either until she told me. I have no idea that people could respond that way to acupuncture, but apparently so.
How do we become the acupuncture for these anti-flats? Like, where do we direct them to actually soothe their pain? Stop coming here.
You can't. You just can't. It's a side effect of being correct.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's the thing. They're arguing with reality, not with us. We're just avatars for reality.
Man, you've got some good turn of phrase today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, with a splinter in their thumb that they just can't quite pick out with their other hand. No matter how much they pick at it and forage at it, it's still there. We're that splinter. We're not going anywhere. We're not coming out of your thumb. Because if you dig at that splinter long enough, you'll realise it's not a splinter, it's part of your skeleton. It's not going anywhere. It's fundamental to your well-being.
We're not going to where they are. You know, we're just hanging out here. They come to us.
Well, we're the initial part of their religion, right? They have to discredit us so they can steal the information we have or the measurements that are of a flat plane. They have to take that for their globe.
Say all that again.
We're so annoying.
That was fantastic. That was so profound and such a good summary. Can you say all that again?
No.
Well, I'll say it. I'll paraphrase it then, probably badly. That in order to steal our stuff, they must decry us. Because if we use our stuff, then obviously it's our stuff, and it's obvious that we're using our stuff, it's our stuff, and our stuff being flat earth measurements. They need to use our stuff, that's flat earth measurements. So they must decry us and ridicule us so they can use our stuff with it and get away with it. Roughly right, John?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's the basis of their religion. You know, that in a way, they kind of hate us for that.
Yeah,
We're
they come
we're
here.
hanging out on
They
the
come here and
we're hanging out on the horizontal plane that they want to use to take measurements from, and we're just sitting here looking at them as they take the measurements.
they come here and tell us how it's measured flat anyway, which we all know that anyway.
So it's not a nefarious, over intentional ridicule of flat Earth. There's a symbiosis to the ridicule that we receive. It's out of necessity. So you can tie it to some power that should not be, some black hand, and it's just not the case. It's symbiotic. Their necessity to parasitically use flat Earth measurements leads them to their disdain and hatred of us. So by ridiculing us, they don't ever have to face up to the awful truth that they're using flat Earth measurements all the time. So me, today, when you've heard people shouting through me, talking through me getting more and more annoyed and irate because I want to just make the conclusion, they literally, as you heard, cannot bear to hear it. Because what am I pointing out? You use a flat Earth, you measure a flat Earth, you require it. So what are you going to do? What? Tell me I'm a retard. So you can use our stuff and get away with it.
You know what, Nathan? I get that, man. I understand it, and I really appreciate what you do, man. Sometimes I think you're a little bit harsh, but I understand why you do that, because some of these dickheads have done something to you in the past. I get that. Yeah, I'm not against you, man.
No, I got that.
You gotta understand that. I listen to I know QE, and I listen to QE shows, and I listen to all your shows as well. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate what you do for Flat Earth. I
don't give a fuck about you, geezer. I don't give a fuck.
What's there to be against of?
What?
No, it's not like...
Who's that? Wait, who's that in the background?
That's endless.
That was Nathan doing a voice. And then
was
it's
it?
me. And it's me saying, what's there to be against of?
No, but...
They don't have arguments. There is no against.
That was some Kiwi. Did you know that was some Kiwi? It wasn't me.
Kiwi. You're trying to start a war.
Oh, Kiwi, not QE. Yeah, I get it.
But what was crazy was...
What is it? Kiwi?
You go, Elijah, man. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What was crazy how Matthew tried to say that that definition from QE on high. Now, as a math professor, he should know what range of change the rate of change of non-zero is.
The rate of change of slope, is non-zero.
Slope intercept
He's
formula.
handed the slope intercept formula to QE. It now belongs to QE, according to him.
Yeah, winning arguments tend to have that effect.
Let's
but
not
his
interrupt
definition,
Elijah.
thank you. His definition was exactly the same. It was equivalent.
Yeah, same shit. Yeah.
It's not just the scientific method. If it's winning an argument in flat Earth, that's just QE's scientific method. Slope intercept formula.
The thing is, you're not really going to win an argument against QE, really, are you?
The argument isn't. The point is that the argument isn't with QE. They're arguing against reality.
No, it's with science.
It's with science and maths. Yes,
but they're arguing that the shape of the Earth is a scientific argument, but it's not.
Which it isn't. But do you hear what Endless is saying, though? The reason they will never lose, or reason QE will never lose, is because it's not a debate. It's not an argument. Now, when you appreciate
it's not a debate.
Yeah, you don't lose because there's nothing to lose if there's no debate about it. It's just a measurement of Earth that they need.
They go, and they go, all of the scientists. And they go, what scientists? scientists agree with shape. What the fuck are you talking about?
We're rarely talking to globers at this point. They're not globers anymore.
Please don't. Look, I know that. Look, I've known Stewie for a long time. You know, not as long as you guys have, but yeah, it's been at least 4 years. You know, I've had my ass handed to me from QE many times. You know.
Well, this guy's giving off a few platitudes to QE. A few shout outs. Unitox Femu, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, I think we need 39.59 people for good results. Thank you for the super chat. Also, Flat Earth Travolta, he says, they just need to stop using our stuff. Simple as. Indeedy. Also, Robert MB Realist sends a super chat saying nothing and then repeats his super chat by saying, General Nathan, cheers. And then clinking glasses. Thank you very much indeed for all the super chats.
Whatever, man. It's like little birdie or something. Like, whatever, man.
Yeah, QE's good people.
Go speak
The
up.
reason,
Speak up, Neil.
yeah, the reason so many people.
Speak up, Neil.
It wasn't Neil, it was me.
Yeah. You're not
Go
gonna
ahead,
stop
John.
up, are you?
The reason that QE is able to hand so many people their hind ends as he does is because he's not making a claim. There are very few claims if he does make them. He's only taking citations of demonstrated facts or holding people to their claims. It's so that's pretty powerful when you learn that's what he's doing, because he's just keeping people focused.
I agree, man. Yeah. And the good thing what he does is he lets people speak, and he lets them trip themselves up, and then goes, "Wait, hang on a minute," and you go, "Whoa," and he goes, "All right, shut the fuck up. That's not a scientific." Yeah, you go, "Yeah, he got it. He got it. It's not scientific." Because the claim of the Earth is not scientific.
Correct.
Shape of the Earth, not scientific.
Correct. Yeah, it's a category
error.
Yeah, cause and effect reasoning. That's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's what I thought. I thought, well, that sounds good. You did that school.
Is that Neil?
That's Hyuka.
Hey,
can you
Neil.
get closer to your mic, Hyuka?
I can hear him.
I think he might have actually...
talking through a pillow, buddy. Sort out your mic.
Hyuka. I think he might have actually walked away from his mic.
That's all right, man. I wasn't I wasn't having a go at you before, Nathan. But like when you say don't swear and this and that, just
No, you don't have to. You don't have to take. You were, and you were justified. So don't no take backs. You don't have to justify it because I've acknowledged it. I ate that humble pie, and you were right to force feed it to me, mate. Don't take anything back.
Good. Thanks for admitting that, man. I appreciate it, and we'll move on. Yeah.
I already had, but you've laboured it, and I'm glad. Yum yum yum.
Nathan never admits when he's wrong.
No swearing.
Nathan
Family
never admits
show.
when he's wrong. It's a family show.
I've been trying. I
Nathan
really have.
doesn't admit when he's wrong.
Mate. Yeah,
I'm trying.
When I get rolling, mate, don't worry. I'm Australian. I throw a cunt in here and a cunt in there, but
no swearing. Family show.
Yeah. We all do it, man.
Yeah, this show's long past monetization.
But there's a lot of passion that goes into this conversation. Yeah, people don't realise that.
I don't.
They believe that they live on a ball, but we actually know that we live on a flat surface. So the whole passion is that we know. and they don't.
Well, you've caught me on a day that I can eat that humble pie just with a reason behind it, which is most of the time, if there's been some swearing, I'll then use that tactic against the opponent just to see if they call foul on me like a hypocrite. But often that's me hamming it up because I'm not actually as annoyed as it might appear. Today I was, right? I can see my lines clipping and I don't care. I can see I'm too close to my mic, I don't care. There's something about educators, Matthew learns. I can feel myself tensing.
It's annoying.
It's because he's an educator.
I've dealt with Matthew for years, man. Yeah, and I understand. Yeah, I
grinds my gears more than anybody.
Yeah,
it was the same with Charles Flat Earth Math, again a teacher, or who was the other one?
Yeah, I know Charles as well. Yeah.
Conspiracy
Maybe
Cats is another
time
one.
for a new persona. Maybe you need to, instead of being angry, Nathan, maybe be kindergarten teacher Nathan and talk to them at the level that they deserve.
Nah,
little 5-year-olds.
Yes, I could easily. Just not with teachers. That's real disdain, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's genuine, is what I'm trying to get across. It's genuine disdain when it comes to someone like Matthew. I can't just switch it off. Most of the time when someone was like, oh, just calm your pants, or who crapped in your cereal, normally I can just flick a little switch and go, oh, you need me to smile? And I could just turn it off. And they're like, what? What's going on? Because that'll throw them, right? Today I couldn't have done that.
Yeah, see, with Matthew, I can't stick up with him for Matthew because he did that. He goes, oh, flat earthers say that they're going around in a circle, but then and he did this thing about going around in a circle, but it's going to take twice the time to go around in a circle like a clock. It was on his video. It was so fucking weird. And I pulled him up about it. I said, no, that doesn't.
It's just stereotyping flat earthers as all being AE earthers with
like retards,
differing sizes.
He pretty much said flat earthers are retards and they can't add. That was it.
People who reify the AE map are retards. So maybe in that aspect, he has an argument.
No more or less.
I've got an issue with Matthew Lewis.
Yeah, I have too. He's a teacher.
I understand, man. Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah. Lucky he's not teaching my kids. I don't live in California, so I don't really care about it. I got kids. I don't want him teaching my kids.
I also have kids. I already think they're this fucking flag. I want to see some flag. That's just hilarious, in my opinion.
What's that?
Not sharing their pain. Thinks it's hilarious that Earth's measured flat for his globe belief. I think he said something like that.
Yeah. And you know what his best argument is for the globe? Is that in Ecuador, the dishes that are getting
satellite TV,
are pointing upwards. Thanks, Jedi. You got me, man. Back me up.
No worries.
Yeah.
Dutch.
And that's his best proof for the globe.
Dutch.
In Ecuador, on the equator, all the satellites are pointing 90 degrees in the air. So the Earth must be a globe.
Well, that's just not true, though. I mean, I used to work as a electronics salesman, and a lot of the stuff that I flogged would be to people who had TV systems and satellite dishes attached to it. So when I was selling to dealers that were on the equator, I'd have noticed if their dishes were pointing straight up. They weren't. They were pointing at the horizon, same as anywhere else. Now, I asserted this about, 6 or 7 years ago on one of the very early debates, and someone challenged me. They're like, that's not the case.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fine, show me your evidence. And they went and got some pictures of satellites pointing straight up, and I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I don't have
the same as Matthew does. Yeah. Same photo. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's where that photo came from, but like I say, I've got first-hand experience of what satellite dishes do on the equator just purely because I was flogging hi-fi gear to people who had like satellite systems in that chain. Even though I was selling hi-fi amplifiers and DACs, you know, obviously I still had to get involved with some aspects of electronics like satellite dishes and picking up TV broadcasts because they were often linked into the same systems. So I'm reasonably familiar
So
with
you were selling them just to sell them, or because they work?
Well, I'm just saying that they weren't pointing straight up in my experience. So when it last got debated in that regard, somebody presented a picture and they're like, look, his dish is pointing straight up. And I'm like, okay, did you install those? You know what I mean? Where did this picture get taken?
He's going to need a horizontal baseline for up and pointing up at 90 degrees.
Exactly.
Well, if you've got a horizontal baseline, then it's not going to the center of the Earth anyway.
Regardless of what those dishes are pointed at, whatever they are, they're not pointed at an object that's traveling through near perfect, ever-expanding volume of vacuum. That isn't happening.
Of course not.
So who cares where the satellites are pointed? What does that prove?
Well,
it takes you away from the ground, doesn't
Someone's got it. Wait. Someone's got a question.
I'd like to know the Glober's reasoning behind how something can be in orbit infinitely without ever getting closer to Earth.
What do you mean by closer?
Like if you picture, I think I've seen this demonstration before. When the people try to prove gravity, they get a bunch of balls and they have them all spinning around in a circle around each other, but they all eventually get closer to each other. That's because of like the warping of space-time. But that's their best example.
You're talking about a trampoline, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, with like the warping of space-time. I can't find a good example of like how something can be in orbit because it's being pulled towards the Earth, but not get closer to the Earth.
Hang on, you
can grant them objects above the horizontal plane, but that's never going to prove curvature.
Hold on a sec. You're saying it's difficult. Just one sec. You're suggesting it's difficult to find pictures of a bent conceptual fourth dimension.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just saying, I'm picturing like a satellite orbiting around the fictional ball and going in, circles and circles around it, but not getting closer to it, even though it's like locked in this pull. Shouldn't it be getting closer to the thing that's, pulling
all
it?
The positions of that satellite, quote unquote, is defined by its elevation above the horizon.
I'm not sure that's
it's
what he's
all
saying.
about references.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, do you have any pitch data for the satellite? You're going to need pitch data to show a rotational vector.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
All right, man. It's
just letting
question
you know.
time, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get what their answer is. Like if I ask someone, well, why is the satellites, how are they locked in the orbit and not just coming towards the Earth?
What's a satellite though? What is that?
What's an orbit?
People you've been talking to, do they have any actual inside information about satellites, or are they just normies making claims, parroting claims?
I had some people say that they work in satellites, and then when I tell them that they're pointing towards the radios, like cell phone towers, they don't like that.
Well, I mean, that's you making a positive claim at that point. What difference does it make if there are objects above the horizontal plane that are moving about in repeating patterns? Let's say that they are.
I'm more interested right now in the reasoning behind the orbit and it being locked in this circle pattern.
They're immediately going to claims of orbits. Then they're going to have to prove their radius, because all of their claims about orbits. Yeah, well, that too. The actual practicalities of the claim.
Requirement is a is a change in orientation continuously with respect to down.
Yeah, I understand that
show us
everything comes
altitude
back.
info.
I don't think he's. I don't think he's making an argument against.
No, we get that. We're talking to the person he's talking to. But listen to Amish talk about this topic in particular. He's done a lot of work on this idea of pitch data in regards to satellites. It's interesting.
Okay.
There's actually no pitch data in any of the telemetry data or coordinate systems that are used in any satellite communications or tracking or anything. They actually add, using a quaternion, they actually add back the rotational vector that should be there if Earth was a globe, mathematically. They don't measure one. There's no data from any gimbaled gyro in any of these devices showing a rotation with respect to curvature.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But I understand everything comes down to. Yeah, everything just comes down to, well, how was it measured and such. So obviously, if you can walk them to that point, then yeah, they're trying to borrow our.
Even before you go there, you got to say, well, how was there any curvature of the Earth measured?
Yeah.
So was there?
But let's. I want to humor them. Obviously, I can just bring the conversation back to the measurements, but no one's really gonna go there without.
I can go there. I'll go there.
Yeah. Well, Globers don't really want to go there, so they'll sidestep stuff. But just in the more, just in this hypothetical situation, I'm humoring someone about the existence of these satellites orbiting around the Earth. I know that we can just redirect the conversation towards the measurements and how ridiculous the whole thing is. But just what is their reasoning behind this the Einstein version of gravity that lets this thing orbit without getting closer to the Earth?
If you're talking to people who are claiming to have some special information about satellites or have worked on satellites, you can stay within their paradigm. And you can talk about, their positions. They're going to be measured in reference to a horizontal plane. And then you can go to what Amish is talking about. Zero evidence of any adjustment of pitch for these satellites. They don't reference a constantly changing down. That's not what they do.
See, that's what I found really interesting when you guys, Nathan, on your show with QE, you did that. I think it was with I can't remember the flight number, but
the Honolulu flight,
2 hours, and they only they didn't change. They didn't change
the
their
black box
pitch.
data is posted in the side chat. There's a graph of the data in the side chat right now.
Perfect. Yeah. 2 degrees. There you go.
Okay. So I'm gonna mute my mic because I'm going outside and it's really busy outside. But I'll keep listening.
It's pretty full on.
What is pitch?
It doesn't change pitch the whole way.
What is?
But it should.
What is pitch?
Change pitch.
He's saying what is pitch?
Should. Why should it?
Hold on. He's just saying, just before you move on, he's asking you fundamentally, do you know what pitch is?
Yeah, up or down. Yeah.
With respect to what?
Horizontal, of course.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, the concept of pitch would not exist if Earth were a globe.
Yeah.
Can't have pitch data on a globe.
You can't.
No.
Up and down are with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. Well, you want to reference that horizontal plane. That's eye level, surface level, some form of level will be.
It would
plane of
constantly be changing. Yeah.
If you're being really generous, you can let them talk about in and out.
Yeah, for a globe, they can have in and out. That's fine. Not up and down.
Right, but is pitch in relation to in and out? No. No, it's
You can't have pitch data on a globe.
In and out's a weird one.
Even if you'd grant it, it's a
It's a
flat
globe.
line. The pitch data is a flat line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's holding up the book that I'm writing because we're writing a whole chapter on it, and it's come about since we were writing the book.
Are you guys doing a book?
Yeah.
Don't talk to Amish then. You'll have to start incorporating the lack of pitch data for satellites too. I'll add another month to this process.
Yeah, the NTSB pitch data is great.
Yeah. I have another question.
Is there another satellite?
I still have to get my mic kind of stuff.
Can you just I think Nathan was going to say something,
No,
and
no,
then
it's-
you can
it
just jump in after that.
It was John.
I'm sorry.
You
No,
go
you're
ahead.
right, man.
How's your jello? Go ahead.
Okay. Well, same question, but instead of satellites, how we're orbiting the moon, the moon's orbiting us, whatever, and nothing's ever getting closer to each other. I know there's articles that'll say like, "Oh, we're coming like inches closer to each other," but obviously there's no evidence of that. All right, I'm gonna mute my mic now.
What's coming closer?
You don't have to mute, dude.
What?
They make lots of claims about things that should change over time. As far as we're aware, the sky has just been repeating over and over and over again.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of it because it isn't happening.
Closer or further away in terms of what? Its height above sea level? Its distance in terms of a linear measurement that isn't curving? There's so many flat earth things that are required for these discussions to take place. So when you say you want to entertain people with this stuff, I find it really hard. It's like, no, I've got to give you this flat earth measurement or that flat earth measurement. Orbits itself is derived from flat earth measurements. So it's hard for me to conceptualize what you want to argue with them. No disrespect to you.
Yeah, but, and also, what are orbits as well?
The angle measurements with respect to a plane described after the fact inside a ball Earth. If you look at the motion on a depiction of motion called orbit, you'll see that the line that
Yeah, but it's only a section too. Yeah.
the line
Like
that the
it's
planet
just a section.
the line that planet's moving along traverses the center of the sphere that you're describing. In other words, it's being described from within the ball. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you can't be in hell, but that's how orbital motion's described, because it's angles on a plane inside the ball after the fact, after you've measured the plane to get the angles. Well, they can only then be described after the fact inside the ball on a plane. Well, for me, that makes it hard to reify or believe I'm standing on a surface that's described with angles inside it. The ball, that is.
Yeah.
What's that plane called?
None of the necessary consequences of curvature exist in any of their claims.
I think someone
That's
else
equatorial plane.
had a question. Go ahead.
It's the equatorial plane, and the gentleman said that the moon was getting closer, not in the heliocentric spinning ball space monkey religion. The moon's getting further away by a couple, like an inch per year or something like that. Yeah.
QE, you sound different on his. On
The
his
moon gets
Discord.
bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller. Doesn't just go
sounds
away.
like you just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan's
He makes you
soundboard isn't
close.
up to speed. Holy shit.
Don't blame me.
Alright, I'll shut up.
All good.
No, it's not all good.
Let's acknowledge what you said. You are correct. I didn't catch it, but now you've said it. You are absolutely correct. In the heliocentric model, their claim to be orbiting globe of the moon is moving away.
Claimed to be a physical object that has a specific location, and yet going further away, and yet it gets bigger and smaller. That doesn't make sense.
QE?
Further and closer to, further from the equatorial plane, or what?
I mean, the path it traces over the surface extends further south and further north of the tropics. That's interesting. But in regards to a distance horizontally from the surface,
it does what?
The path of the moon goes further south of the Tropic of Capricorn and further north than the Tropic of Cancer. It doesn't follow the same range that the sun does. That's why the moon will appear in very different parts of the sky compared to the sun. It wobbles and wibbles about the place, in other words.
Technical term.
Is that because it's not the sun?
Hey,
I don't know
what's
about
going on?
because. I mean, it isn't the sun.
Hey,
I don't know
you
if
know
it
what?
does anything
Hey,
because it's not the sun.
hang on. Give us a poem. Come on.
To one deck.
One deck. Come on, brother.
The old classic. The globe is flat. It was measured like that. The globe is flat. The Greeks all knew that. They measured angles using sticks and shadows. The globe must be flat for horizontal shadows. Al-Biruni knew the globe was flat. He measured the height of a mountain like that. And when I was a sailor navigating the sea, the surface of the ocean appeared very flat to me. Triangulation on the surface of Earth, all achievable without one single use of a curve. There you go.
One deck. I miss you, brother.
You don't have to miss me, mate. I'm here. Hey.
Yeah, that's not really meant.
You know me, yeah? Jimbo.
Yeah, we've had chats in the past, mate. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Hope you're all good, mate.
Yeah, you too, man.
So what's the evidence that the moon moves further?
Oh, flat, see?
I thought we were by this topic. Nope, getting drug right back in it.
Because he said it and it's just weighing on me, and I'm like, what's the evidence of this? And now I do understand that the
Evidence
moon
of what,
moves,
Flatty?
the moon moving further from the than the Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer. Now I understand that the moon moves
I'm
in the
out on that
tropics.
5 degrees further.
I'm not getting involved on this one. I'm out. You guys argue about that.
It's not aligned
I'm not
with
trying
the
to argue.
ecliptic
I just
plane.
want some evidence of that.
No, he would do it.
Moves about 5 degrees further than the sun.
No, it
It has
relates
like
to the
a negative
story.
23.6 and a positive 23.6, and the moon goes a little bit further than that.
Thanks a lot, Flatsy.
Jeez, sorry.
What? You causing trouble, Flashy?
I guess so.
I think that's a molten iron core question, Flatsy, because them calculating that it's moving that far away is based on its gravitational decay.
Thanks, John.
So, is the distance to the moon based on the sun, or no?
Distance? What are you talking about distance? I'm
No,
talking about angular elevation.
Oh, 1 second. I'm confused because I actually don't know. So, you know how they say, the distance to the sun is this because of this. So, is the distance to the moon based on the same thing as the sun?
They both start with the same base assumption that the Earth is curved.
I'm kind of asking.
That's where they begin the
I'm asking
cosmological distance ladder for everything.
because I trust him.
Trust. Why would you trust?
Yeah.
He's probably not even listening to you. You were getting a
he's
decent
probably
answer,
not,
though.
but
You were given a perfectly sufficient answer there, Endless.
he's giving me no answer. That's why.
I mean, I literally gave you the description of reality. Do with
So the
it what you want.
distance to the sun is based on the moon, or the distance to the moon
What I
is
was
based
talking
on the
about
sun?
was elevation angles.
No, but
distance from the ecliptic.
It's because of Venus, right? So
that's later in the process.
That's heliocentric.
No,
nonsense,
it's not.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the globe, man. I'm describing reality. Who gives a shit what the globe says? Like, at this
I'm not
point,
asking you.
why do we even talk about
I'm
it?
asking QE.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. Is the distance to the moon based on their equations based on the distance to the sun? Is it relative or not? How did they get the distance to the moon? I know how they got the distance to the sun. Well, how they kind of came up with these weird equations for the distance to the sun. But did they do the same thing with the distance to the moon? Does anyone know? I'm asking QE, but maybe someone else can
I would
answer.
say, I mean, they would have to account for why the moon would look about the same size as the sun. So they have to make it, that's why they made it 400 times
400
closer
and
and 400
432.
times smaller than the sun. Something, yeah.
So they got the distance to the sun by assuming that Venus was the same size as the Earth.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah?
second rung of the cosmic distance ladder. The first
Once we're
rung.
past this, I have a question for Nathan.
Go ahead, man.
The Earth.
It's open. Go ahead.
Okay. Nathan, you were saying the other day something I couldn't really remember, but I remember it stuck out to me, even though I can't remember it. There's something about how stars are like an anomaly. Even though, like the higher up you go, the measurements like don't change or something like that. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're saying the elevation angle measurement to a star doesn't change with altitude.
Yeah, I believe that's what you said, right? And it would be like an anomaly.
Why would it be? You can call it an anomaly if you like. It just doesn't obey the normal rules that we'd expect with perspective. If you're looking at something in the distance and you raise to its height, you know, you'd expect it to change as you change, right? But the stars don't do that.
Right. So isn't that the definition of an anomaly? Because it's not, we can't compare it to anything else, and it seems out of the ordinary.
I mean, but that when you say out of the ordinary, it's very much ordinary and useful for navigation. So that's why I question the use of the word anomaly. It's not that big a deal, but that's just what they do.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't make much sense beyond something that I know you don't want to get into. It's like the container, firmament, whatever you want to call it. It seems like it would probably be related to that, in my opinion. I think it's kind of shining through something and reflecting in a weird way, like a projection.
Oh boy.
What?
Well said, chocolate. Well said.
What? Oh shit. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I don't know how my mic is unmuting in the damn pocket.
But on the moon, they're using the angle that the moon is obscured in what they call an eclipse in the celestial sphere to calculate its distance.
I don't know though. I mean, it's fine for you to speculate, and I hesitate to join in with the fun, just because I know I'll be held to task on it. But more power to you in terms of your speculation about why the stars do what they do. I mean, I can easily describe what they do and how that's useful. Why they do what they do, different story altogether. More power to you. If you find out and figure it out, let me know. I'd love to know.
Well, another thing to speculate about, because it's interesting to me at least, is I know there's some times where there's a solar eclipse, but you can see the moon somewhere else in the sky as long as there's not a bunch of happy chemtrails hanging around. And it makes me curious about... Huh?
That's never
What
happened.
evidence do you have for this?
Yeah, it's never been documented.
Seeing the moon at the same time as when the solar eclipse is happening, like seeing the moon somewhere else.
It's called a Celine Dion eclipse.
All right. Well, whatever it's called, I'm just curious what you guys think it might be. If
Are you
the
talking
moon
about?
is not really...
You talking about a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse?
No, he's talking about a solar eclipse, and that hasn't. No one's actually seen it. I know that people claim that it's the case. They have doctored pictures, or photos, or whatever images. But no one's actually ever seen it.
Really? Okay. I mean,
it's like part of the definition of a new moon. It's like part of the definition of a new moon is that you can't see it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, news to me. I'm going off of the videos that I've seen that are, I guess, doctored according to you guys.
We've got to go to Vegas to see
I'm pretty sure...
What's the claim? Like, what are you actually saying that we're claiming it's doctored as such?
I thought that's what... I don't know if you said it or someone else, but someone said no one has ever seen it, and there's just pictures that are edited or videos.
Of seeing the moon at the same time that a solar eclipse is occurring.
Right, yeah, you're looking at the solar eclipse, but you look in the sky somewhere else and you can see the moon.
As an object separate from the solar eclipse.
Like something else.
As a phenomenon. I mean, man, I've never seen that. It doesn't make sense to me, but
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. That's why I was bringing it up, because it's just interesting to speculate about. And yeah, it's possible everything I've seen that does show that is fake. I wasn't aware it was a conspiracy.
1 sec. What are you saying is fake? What?
There are a lot of potential evidence that suggests that the during a solar eclipse, it's potentially not the moon, or at least not always the moon, that's passing in front of the sun in order to create that effect, due to being able to see the moon somewhere else in the sky. Now, whether or not that's actually true or not, I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
Hold on. He said these
mean?
images are fake. Where are these images?
Hey, Hoss, what's going on?
I could probably pull up some and send you, but I'm out on the street right now.
Good luck with that.
Send it. Send it, man.
Okay. I'll look it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find an example.
Like, it sounds like a weird claim. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is weird, and so I was bringing it up.
The thing is with solar eclipses, they occur during a new moon. And by definition, a new moon is when the moon is not visible. So, I mean, if you're going to start saying that you can see the moon during a new moon, that's a pretty wild claim.
Yeah,
it's not a new claim, though. Like, we've spoken about it numerous times in 24/7. It's come up here and there every other year or so.
He's saying there's images. He's saying there's images that you guys
there
don't
are.
think.
There are. I said that because I've seen them.
You've seen the moon elsewhere during the solar eclipse?
All right, you're about to get muted in 2 seconds, bro. You know.
Nah, let him go.
That's fine.
There you go, Elijah.
This is separate to the idea that the thing or
So
whatever,
let me finish what I was saying, though.
the claim that's obscuring the sun
let me
is
finish what I was
the moon
saying,
or
bro.
not, right?
Can you let Elijah just finish what he's saying, man?
So like I said, there are images floating around. That's why I said they must be fake because no one's actually ever. Well, that's a fallacy. What I was about to say, but the bottom line is no one's ever actually seen this phenomena. They're just these images that nobody can verify is the case.
I agree with what Elijah says.
And just for clarity,
Yeah,
this is separate to the idea.
Are of the moon superimposed over the sun, not the moon being elsewhere.
No, you don't know what we're talking about. You're just lost.
I don't know. I've only been listening for the last 3 hours, so yeah, maybe I'll re-listen on YouTube.
Yeah, please do.
But just for clarity's sake, this is separate from the idea that whatever it is obscuring the sun during an eclipse, say that there's something physically doing that,
Wait,
but it is not the moon, right?
Wait, what are you saying though?
They've also seen the claim that the thing, or if there is an object going in front of the sun, is not the moon.
What?
There's two separate ideas being.
Yeah, but that's different than what was just said about 3 minutes ago when someone said you guys would say those images are fake of the moon being elsewhere. It was like two separate claims going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first I've ever heard someone claim that the moon is simultaneously visible at the same time that you can look at, say, like you can look at the solar eclipse and then you can look in a different direction and you can see the moon. Is that the claim that's being made?
What do you mean? Wait, say that again.
Well, I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, so the claim with this, if say these images are real, that you can look at the solar eclipse, see the sun be.
A quick shout out to Flat Out Fudge. Thank you for the super chat. It says visible planetary alignment from Earth today, guys. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Yes, that's yes. The answer is yes. Jesus
Okay, well, this is the first time hearing of it. That sounds crazy.
Let's see those images. Are you serious? That's the first time you've heard of it.
Of being, yes, of seeing the moon.
It's called the impossible.
That's a lunar eclipse. That's a Selenian, and that happens all the time.
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry, I called it a Celine Dion instead of a Selenian eclipse, which is something else.
Celine Dion.
Well, it was a joke about something else. We're not talking about that, though. Yeah, he's not talking about that. He's talking about when the new moon.
It's a solar eclipse, not a lunar eclipse. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a claim, from what I understand from listening in, right, that where there is typically a circumstance where there's a new moon, there's also a simultaneous claim that, oh no, we get to see the moon during that type of eclipse that happens during a new moon when the moon can't be seen, which seems contradictory right at face value, is what Endless is suggesting. Correct, Endless?
It sounds like a claim that's being put upon flat earthers that doesn't seem possible to validate. But maybe it does happen. But and honestly, this is the first time I've heard of this particular one.
You don't see the moon during new moon. I've had this debate so many times with globe earthers that want to say that it is there but just not seen. And if you suggest that 1% visible is when you actually get to see stuff, but the new moon's only 0.9% visible, therefore it is visible but you can't see it, it's just not visible.
Yeah, no one's ever seen it. Yeah.
It's a cut and dry thing, in my opinion, when it comes to the new moon, right? Can you see it? No.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you can't. Yeah. It's a new moon.
But that goes back to Endless's point, though. If you can't see it, then how did you see it to know that it was not blocking
to
the
see that
sun?
You can't see it. You can't see it to see that you can't see it.
This doesn't. Right. Yeah, I'm with Endless on this. It kind of doesn't make sense.
If you can't see it, why would you name it a new moon? Why would you call it a moon if you can't see the moon? Right.
Well, the new moon part is that the moon is gone, and then here's another one or something.
It's the gap.
It's
the gap in the observations.
Have you done like a rap song? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the example. I
One
remember
sec,
like
man.
last year I sent it.
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
Hang on, dude. Yeah. Have you done like a rap song?
Who's that question for?
Yeah, you.
Come on,
Sorry,
Jedi,
man.
help us out. You've seen it. You've seen it.
Right, man.
You've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of songs. Yeah.
This is fun.
Chocolate Saint? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
You confusing the two
The
black
one and
men
only.
at this moment?
No, I'm not. No, no, I'm not.
One's
Elijah,
talking
not
from.
that. Come on, man. Don't be like that, dude.
Elijah and
Saints?
chocolate are black?
No, don't put me in a corner, man. I'm not. We don't have that shit in Australia, man.
No, you're good, man. No worries.
Yeah, God, yeah. I did. I think. Yeah, you did one with Whitset, was it? But it was a really good song.
Yeah, why would they lie? That's what a bunch of people, including Eli.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard Eli sing before, man. I'm not doubting that, man. He's good. I don't know why you
Eli's
guys
a lyrical murderer.
jump over more often, and like in
Timbo.
Yeah, Jedi. What?
What were we talking about before we
Come together and do it.
Yeah. You know what I mean, Eli. Yeah. Come together, join clubs, like Yeah, what, man? Look, fucking hell, man. We're not enemies.
The new moon.
We're on the same. Just hang on, Endless. Like we're on the same path, but, and most of us are on the same path. Like, fuck, man.
So the new moon
What are
is
you
just a
laughing at?
gap
I've missed
in
you,
the
man.
observations, right?
Jedi.
So there's a path that the moon takes, and you can join that together in a line if you like. And
I'm
map
trying to
that
bring
out.
us together.
And the
and
new
just talk
moon
about the
is the
moon.
gap in that line.
Fuck, man.
And sometimes it intersects the line that the sun takes over time. So the inference is that it's the moon.
Now the moon and the
causing-
sun. I'm trying to bring us all together, and this guy's talking about the moon and the sun.
I'm trying to talk about.
I told you.
Topic.
Fucking hell, man. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Jedi. Hey, Jedi. Just
what?
Lay down and be quiet.
Just
for a
what?
second, man.
Please don't swear. Please don't swear.
All right.
I was wondering.
Jedi, what's up, man? Good to hear you, brother.
Wait. There's a voice I've heard before.
Yeah. I was wondering. Yesterday I was talking earlier, but we didn't get anywhere.
Hey,
Up on the mic, buddy.
We cannot understand what you're talking about, man. Can you just take the microphone out of your mouth and then we can hear?
Can you hear me now?
Closer.
Can you hear me?
Get closer to the mic.
Hear me now?
It's a little better.
Oh, I'm as close as I can get.
Yell!
You can hear me now?
He's doing his best, guys. You can turn him all up. No.
You can hear me now?
Go, man. I'm just joking around, mate. Go for it, man.
Yeah, if everyone's
joking,
we can hear you.
Have you got a question for Nathan?
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
Yeah,
man.
well, I was talking earlier, but we didn't really get very far. And yesterday, I was watching his YouTube, and he was talking
Nathan?
about this. Yeah, he was
Go for
talking
it.
about this
Ask him
big
then.
powwow.
Just let him talk.
Yeah, he was talking. I'm talking. He was talking about this big powwow with the flat earthers, and that's where I was getting to. And because I went to look, and these are the guys, the 10 guys that's going to meet Dr. Stieber, I think. So I went to look at that, and Nathan's not one of those people. So I guess he's not one of the top flat earthers.
You're talking
That's
about
why I
Mark
was
Sargent's
wondering who he would
roundtable.
do.
No,
Wait,
it's not.
hang on.
It's not Mark
Hang on.
Sargent.
Just let Nathan answer what he's talking about. Yeah.
So what he's talking about is
Yeah, well, I
Dave
was just
Weiss.
wondering.
Tell us what you're wondering again.
Well,
I would. I
Well,
immediately give up, Hayuka.
you said you wanted to be there. You said you wanted to
I've
be
listened
there.
to your question, Hayuka. You're still talking while I was trying to answer you. Immediately, you started talking through me, so I give up immediately.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Go. Nathan, are you going to cry that you're not one of the top flat earthers now?
No, it's Dave Weiss's
Dude,
arrangement.
This dude's an idiot, man. Don't even entertain him. He can't even distinguish. He thought knowing the history of a group means you're in the group. This dude's an utter moron. You're literally wasting your breath.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me, Indio.
No, I'm talking about this utter clown that keeps babbling.
What's this
So
round table?
Nathan, you said you
You know,
wanted
like,
to be there.
You know, the Knights of the Round Table. You know?
Yeah, I'll answer you if you'll allow me. So, yeah, I thought it was Mark Sargent's. I was wrong. It's Dave Weiss's, who I'm highly critical of. So, unfortunately, because it's been...
Mark Sargent,
There we go again.
Mark
Second
Sargent, I think.
second attempt with you answering through the topic. You're a cunt. Clear? Cunt.
All right, let's just...
Family show.
Yeah, it's the second attempt. It seemed reasonable for a second, then it was all fun and games and me answering. Then, while I've been quiet for several minutes, only now there's perpetual everybody's going to talk through me. I open my chops because I'm asked something directly. Second attempt to answer it, the guy who's asked me like last time, he's wittering through the top of me. Course.
Okay, ask Nathan a question.
I've been
and
asked.
Then let him answer.
Oh, well, he said he wanted to be there with those people.
Yeah, we
Mark
heard you say
Sargent.
that. We heard you, but what is this guy just going to yatter a misrepresentation of what I'm saying when I haven't got a chance to say it? Each time I say it, he's now going to misrepresent what I'm saying. I haven't had a chance to say it because you, the dickhead here, has yattered through my answer 3 times, and now you're going to tell my audience what I'm saying? Oh, shut up.
Okay. Hey, Yoka, can you just ask him a clear question and then let him answer? Yeah. Go ahead.
I did ask him
No,
a
you
question
didn't.
before.
No, you didn't. Just
Yeah, I did.
Just ask him a direct question. That's it.
I did. He said, he said he could do it all on his own.
Oh my God.
And then he talked about latitude, and I said, well, these guys want to test to show how latitude is what he says it is on the flat Earth. So I wondered what test he would come up to present.
What the hell
to
is
the
latitude on a flat Earth? What are you talking about, man? What?
guys. Well, that's what Nathan was talking about.
Okay,
There
so
is no
ask
latitude
Nathan,
without a
ask
Would you
horizontal
Nathan,
consider a
reference.
measurement
Wait, one
test?
sec.
You think
Ask
a
Nathan
measurement's
a
a test,
question
buddy?
about latitude on a flat Earth. That's it. Ask him a question.
No,
That's it.
no, he had. Well, what test
No, he's
would
not
he
going to
use
ask you a
to
question.
show? What
Fair enough.
test would you use to show that latitude is flat Earth for Dr. Shiba?
It's
a geometric relationship.
I'd define what it was.
Just endless. Just let Nathan answer, man.
I'd define what it was. So latitude being an elevation angle measurement of Polaris, I'd just define what an elevation angle measurement was, so that we know that it's a flat Earth measurement as opposed to a test. It's not a test, it's a measurement of an elevation angle. The ground being the baseline, the line up to Polaris being a line up to Polaris. It's an angle. Those two lines form the angle. It's not a test, it's an angle measurement of the ground with respect to Polaris above the horizon. Altitude angle, that's what it's called. By defining it, I define how Earth's measured
Can't
flat.
argue with that.
Just let him talk.
Can't argue with that.
What? Have you finished now?
Not really. I mean, you asked me about whether or not I'd be attending Mark Sargent's, as I falsely identified it, event. It isn't. It's a Hibbler Dave Weiss event. Now, while in years gone by I have attended things like the No Forests on Flat Earth round table, where I was pretty much the only detractor from that utter nonsense waffle that the guys in Flat Earth were babbling about maybe 10 years ago. I was there to tell them that they were all idiots talking nonsense. I wasn't very well received. Now, whether or not that exact same group with the exact same organiser will have me there to tell them how idiotic they are with their azimuthal equidistant North Pole-centric globe projection that was burnt by Strawman at TFE, I don't know. They're claiming they're having OG flat earthers, but it's actually Dave Weiss and Hibbler sympathisers as opposed to OG flat earthers, because I'd be there if that was the case. Now, I have expressed my intentions to be there to Dave Weiss. I dropped him a little message and said, OG Flat Earth meetup. Yeah, that'd include me. Look forward to being there. Bearing in mind, I've already been told by Mark Sargent that basically I haven't been invited, and etc., etc. Well, it's because it's Dave Weiss. Dave Weiss presumably hates me because I point out that he's a grifting scammer selling azimuthal equidistant North Pole-centric globe projections to people on an app he charges for. So I doubt he'll want me there. Hope that answers your question.
Is this the same David Weiss that you defended Bitcoin for?
Hang on. Hey,
yeah.
Just 1 sec.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay,
so
can you just let?
So if you,
Yeah,
so
go
if
ahead,
you
mate.
met Dr. Steve, Dr. Steve said he'd have 10 MIT physicists, 10 globalists, and 10 flat earthers.
Gotcha.
So now there would be Mr. Dr. Stieber, 10 globers, and you. Just you, because you good as 10 people, yeah?
No, I already answered this previously, whether or not I'll get through the repetition of that answer that I gave you last time. I wouldn't need to be shoulder to shoulder with 9 other men if I define what latitude measurement is. Because when we get down to the nitty-gritty of defining what latitude measurement is, no assistance from other people is required. Everybody measures Earth flat with latitude. The definition being an altitude angle measurement that requires Earth be a horizontal plane of reference to stand upon to measure this angle. That's not something that's in contention. That's a fact. We measure Earth flat with that altitude angle we make with a latitude measurement when measuring Earth flat with it. Indisputable facts, no assistance needed.
Can't argue with that.
Dr. Stieber wasn't asking for words. He was asking for a practical test that anybody could do. That's why I asked you what practical test you come up with. You know, when there's just
You have
and
no
the
idea
10
what a test
people,
is
the
or
10
measurement.
globers and the 10 physicists, he's going to write a paper and everything.
Yeah, so...
You think you test measurement?
Does he write paper, then Earth globe?
My God. So Chavez is going to write a paper, eh? Shut up.
No, Nathan said latitude, so there must be a test that everybody could
test
do.
for
that would prove he was
Yeah,
right.
Are you retarded?
Yeah. You get a sextant and you measure the elevation angle of Polaris above the horizon.
Not a
That's
test.
what we can all do.
It's not a test.
I think QE's there.
Well, you did. Okay.
Do you understand that's not a
Every
test?
map you've ever interacted with
Not a test.
has longitude and latitude.
Do that.
Oh my God.
Hang on. Hey, everyone, just chill out.
It's where we got last time.
Whoever
There
it's
was a lot of-
directed to. Yeah, you go, Nathan. Yeah.
So
This
it's
guy
where we got-
doesn't really seem to listen to anybody. He just speaks.
Yeah. So it's not a test. Like last time when I was like, I don't need.
Everybody just speaks, huh?
There he goes again.
Yeah. No, we've let you speak. Now let whoever you were directed the question at speak.
Yeah, it's about the 6th attempt. So it's not a test, right?
What's not a test?
A measurement of latitude.
Oh, but it would be a practical demonstration of something, you know. It would
Wouldn't
show
it just
that.
be a measurement of latitude?
Yeah, but you're gonna need some tools and stuff like that. You know, you don't just look at something.
Well, you do if you're measuring latitude.
Okay, what do you use?
A star called Polaris and potentially a sextant, some sort of angle measuring device that you'd utilise a horizontal plane of reference that would be Earth's surface and the star Polaris in a form of measurement called an altitude angle measurement.
Okay, so you would have a practical test then.
No, it's a measurement.
Yeah, but you know, you
Yeah,
said
but-
you got latitude from it.
Yeah, from that measurement.
So
That's
you
not a
could prove
test.
that.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
From a star.
you could prove that with these other guys,
Got it.
huh?
Yeah, I don't need to prove latitude. It's not something that needs proving. That's my point, yeah? When it comes to somebody arguing about what Earth is, okay, there's no argument here. You, me, and everybody, Chavez, or whatever you want to refer to, with his 10 men on two sides of an argument that doesn't exist because we measure Earth flat with latitude. So when I point that out, that's the end of the argument because it was never an argument to begin with. It's just a measurement of Earth, in this case, latitude measurement. Flat Earth is required to measure that. Simple.
Yeah, but you got to get that first, huh?
Get what first?
Yo, are you all right, man? Seriously.
Your measurement.
Yeah,
You got to get the
Like,
measurement.
do you
to
understand? Do
calculate.
you understand the words that are being said to you, or what?
Oh yeah.
No, he
You
does
know,
not.
talking is not a practical test. Talking is not a
Yeah,
practical
but you
test.
see, you've
You know
already
that.
been told about that, and you keep saying
can you
practical
repeat what
test again,
Nathan
like that
said?
means something.
Hey, Sasha. How are you, brother?
Hello.
I thought you said you can't look at the sky to tell what's on the Earth, the shape of the Earth.
Measure.
Yeah, but you said you were looking up in the sky.
Measure the
No, he didn't.
elevation
Measure what?
above the horizon.
That's in the sky.
Measure with reference to a horizontal baseline. Measure
How? How are you going to measure that?
With Polaris. We
with
just
an
explained it
angle
to you 20
measuring
seconds ago.
device.
We just explained 20 seconds
Okay,
ago
so
to
that's the practical test, huh? That's a practical
Just
It's a
see what I mean?
measurement.
When we say wanker, this is why.
Let
Because
Nathan,
we say
Nathan handle it, man.
we
Yeah,
say we're
go for it,
measuring
mate.
Earth flat, therefore it doesn't require a test because we've got a measurement. He says, well, no, we need a test.
You got to demonstrate it.
Wow.
I mean,
Well, we'll do a
the other
test
guy,
then.
you told him he couldn't get an angle from a curved Earth.
That's right.
No shit.
Duh.
You not know what angles are?
But the Earth is curved.
So that's begging the question fallacy.
Look, no, we can squeeze more quality out of her.
Okay, well, let's just go with that.
He's on mute.
Well, let's
He's
just
on
see.
mute.
Oh, fair
There's
enough.
nothing. What are you going to do with him?
Begging the question, but if you can tell us where he gets his elevation angle from a curved baseline.
He's not. When has he ever answered a direct question?
Never.
Never.
So how you test?
Well, don't ask him.
Yeah. Just a time waster.
Get him to put a stick in the ground and measure the elevation angles of the sun so he can deny it has anything to do with the ground.
Nope. We need Chavez, Dr. Shiva to be there for our test.
He's an engineer, right? Maybe he can make us a really nice stick.
Engineer, that's basically a scientist, isn't it?
Oh, brother.
You opened up a can of worms.
Testing. What's a natural phenomenon, QE?
I'm sure he could build a real nice obelisk for us to use. Hello.
You know the story of the obelisk as it's told,
Hello.
or is claimed to be
Hello.
in the Egyptian history?
Hold on a second.
Sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Hello.
dude. Yes, hello.
You said that. I'm looking, but there's no one. No. You're all right. Go ahead. Sorry, mate. Someone said hello, and then they just disappeared.
Go
I
refracted.
think it was Jedi. No.
Wasn't me.
No.
Now, the way it's explained to me in history was that there was an Egyptian god who was destroyed, and his wife put him back together, but she couldn't find his man member, so she created an obelisk. Yeah. So is that the obelisk we're talking
We're
about?
talking about no, we're talking about that was someone was an eagle, and then they took their member, and then she had sex with her son and created a new god. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, he's talking about the old fable that penises will find their way back to a giant penis-shaped obelisk. So if you erect one, you know, your lost penis will find its way back to it.
yeah, I know, but the god, the Egyptian god was, who was it?
I mean, if you massage these angles long enough, maybe you'll get a curve.
That's just filthy. Family show.
Yes. No swearing.
He didn't swear. It was all innuendo. Right, on that filthy note, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Politics Discord and my G Plus panels for making today's live show possible. But if you're watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Programming streams, stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. If you're watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So thanks to you for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a member and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley and I will see you all in the next video.